गल करते हैं अल्बर्टा के प्रीमियर जेसन कैनी ने रेड डियर विखे न्यूज़ कॉन्फ्रेंस की, जिथे उन्हें जानकारी दी कि प्रांत मास्क समेत सारे बाकी रहिंदे सेहत सुरक्षा लई लाईयां गईयां पाबंदियां नूं खत्म करन जा रही है, जो कि कोविड-19 महामारी कारण लागू होईयां सन। नाल ही उन्होंने यह भी दस्सिया कि जे कोविड दे केस फिर वधे तां पाबंदियां मुड़ लागू कीतियां जाणगियां।
After 2 years of on again and off again interruption to our lives, 2 years of living frequently under public health restrictions to protect our hospitals from COVID-19, after 2 years of on and off masks, of limiting our social circles, of working from home, of those plexiglass barriers, of all of it, after 2 years of kids having to bear too often the weight of a global pandemic, 2 years of extraordinary government intervention in our lives, and let's face it, 2 years of too frequently division in families and communities. After all of that, friends, we have to be honest, it has been 2 tough years. We've seen our healthcare system at times stretched to its very maximum. Alberta's healthcare heroes, many of them are physically and mentally exhausted. We honor them and we thank them from the bottom of our hearts for all that they have done through COVID-19. Our hospitals and healthcare centers have readjusted spaces to accommodate yet more patients when needed and to create more capacity in intensive care. And after all of this, after all of it, they continue to care for Albertans as like the dedicated professionals that they are. Friends, after these past 2 tough years, we have finally turned a major corner on COVID-19. All of the data, both here in Alberta and right across the world, says that the worst of COVID is behind us. And that this disease that has changed our lives in so many ways is no longer an open-ended threat to our lives and livelihoods from all that we know today. And that is why, as of midnight last night, Alberta has lifted basically all of the remaining public health restrictions that were in place. We have ended the provincial mask mandate. We have removed all capacity limits for venues. We have ended restrictions on interactive activities, on liquor service, and on operating hours for bars and restaurants, plus other hospitality venues. And let me pause to say just a huge thank you to all of the business people and the workers, especially in the hospitality sector that's been so hard hit, for their forbearance, for their patience, for their care for others, for their workers and their customers. We know it's been, and I know it's been especially difficult for frontline retail and hospitality workers often to have to be at the front line of enforcement of difficult public health measures. And I just want to say to the waiters and waitresses and managers and bartenders up and down the province who've lost hours in income and had on and off a couple of really difficult years, thank you for your care and professionalism. So we've also removed all social gathering limits, we've lifted remaining school requirements, and we've ended health screening before youth activities, which was the only remaining measure applied to kids and teenagers. We've also ended the mandatory work from home order, and I think that's great news for downtown cores across Alberta, but especially the 2 big cities, as thousands of workers will come back to their offices starting today to breathe new life into streets that have been empty for too long. And that means such a lifeline for those downtown businesses that have been struggling on and off for the past couple